Imagine humanity finally finding a way to make Mars habitable. But 500 years later, the creatures sent there to help terraform the planet have evolved into something terrifying. Now a team of 15 people is sent to Mars with one simple mission: destroy the creatures and prepare the planet for human colonization. But the moment they arrive, they discover that the experiment has gone horribly wrong. This is the story of Terra Formars, the 2016 Japanese science fiction action film directed by Takashi Miike and based on the manga by Yu Sasuga and Kenichi Tachibana. The story begins in the 21st century. Earth is suffering from overpopulation and dwindling resources. Humanity needs a new home. Scientists develop a plan to terraform Mars. They send moss to the planet to help create a more suitable environment. But they also send cockroaches. The insects are supposed to spread the moss and help the terraforming process. Nobody expects the experiment to continue for centuries. But 500 years pass. By the year 2599, Mars has changed dramatically. The atmosphere has become more suitable for human exploration. But the cockroaches have changed too. They have evolved into enormous humanoid creatures with incredible strength, speed, and intelligence. Earth's scientists don't fully understand what has happened. So they send a special crew to Mars. Among them is Shokichi Kamachi, a young man who accepted the dangerous mission because it offers him a chance to escape his troubled life. He is especially determined to protect Naneo, a woman he deeply cares about. The crew members are promised rewards if they complete the mission. For some, that means money. For others, freedom or a chance at a better future. But they don't know the entire truth. When their spacecraft lands on Mars, everything initially seems normal. The crew prepares to eliminate the remaining cockroaches. Then they see one. It's enormous, standing upright like a human. And before anyone can react, it attacks. The creature moves far faster than anything that size should be able to move. 2 crew members are killed almost instantly. The survivors realize they aren't dealing with ordinary insects. They're fighting something that has evolved into a completely different species. Then the crew learns another secret. Before the mission, each member underwent a special biological procedure. Their bodies have been modified using DNA from different insects. The transformation can temporarily give them the abilities of those creatures. Suddenly, the terrified crew members have a chance to fight back. One transforms into a powerful beetle capable of producing extreme heat. Another develops the strength of a bullet ant. Others gain abilities based on different insects. The mission becomes a brutal battle between genetically modified humans and the creatures that evolved on Mars. But the cockroaches aren't mindless monsters. They're adapting, they're learning, and with every encounter, they become more dangerous. The humans quickly discover that surviving on Mars isn't simply about killing as many cockroaches as possible. They have to understand their enemy before the enemy understands them. As the team searches for the remains of an earlier spacecraft, they discover that another mission had already been sent to Mars. That crew disappeared. Now the survivors begin wondering whether the previous astronauts discovered the same terrifying truth. Mars isn't empty, and the creatures aren't the only mystery waiting beneath its surface. The team eventually finds the abandoned Bugs 1 spacecraft. It may contain the equipment they need to repair their own ship and return to Earth. But reaching it means crossing territory controlled by hundreds of terraformars. The crew prepares for another battle. One by one, their insect abilities are activated. The humans fight back with everything they have. Some can fly, some possess incredible strength, others can produce flames, camouflage themselves, or survive conditions that would kill an ordinary human. But every transformation comes with a price. Their bodies aren't designed to remain in these altered states forever. And the more they transform, the closer they come to losing their humanity. Still, they continue forward. Because if they fail on Mars, the planet will never become humanity's new home. And the Terraformars will remain the dominant species. But as the survivors get closer to the truth, they discover something far more disturbing. The mission isn't exactly what they were told it was. Someone on Earth has been hiding information from them. And the Terraformars may be far more intelligent than anyone originally believed. The humans aren't simply fighting for survival anymore. They may have walked directly into a battle that someone else planned long before they ever reached Mars. The surviving crew members regroup inside the abandoned spacecraft. They've lost several people already, and everyone understands that the situation is becoming more dangerous by the minute. But they also discover something unexpected. The Terraformars have been collecting human technology. They aren't simply attacking anything they see. They're learning, they're studying the weapons, they're adapting to the humans' tactics. This means the next attack could be even worse. Shokichi realizes that they can't keep fighting the creatures one at a time. They need to reach the central area of the colony and find a way to contact Earth. But before they can do that, another wave of Terraformars attacks. The creatures swarm the ship. The humans activate their insect abilities and fight back. Shokichi transforms into his enhanced form, gaining incredible strength and speed. He charges into the battle to protect the remaining members of the team. But even with their abilities, the humans are badly outnumbered. One of the strongest Terraformars attacks Shokichi. The creature is faster and more powerful than the others. Shokichi is thrown across the battlefield. Just when it looks like he's going to die, another member of the crew sacrifices herself to save him. Her death leaves Shokichi furious. He realizes that every person on the mission is slowly being eliminated. And the people who sent them here knew exactly how dangerous Mars would be. The team eventually discovers the truth about their mission. They weren't sent simply to exterminate the Terraformars. Their real objective was to collect biological samples. The scientists on Earth want to study the evolved creatures and use their genetic abilities for human experimentation. The crew members were never told the full truth. They were expendable. The discovery destroys what little trust remains within the group. Some want to complete the mission anyway. Others want to abandon everything and escape. But there's no easy way home. Their spacecraft is damaged. The communication system is barely functioning. And the Terraformars control most of the planet's surface. Then Shokichi discovers that Naneo is still alive. She has been separated from the group, but she managed to survive. Shokichi refuses to leave without her. He heads back into the danger zone alone. The journey becomes one of the most brutal fights of the mission. He faces Terraformar after Terraformar, using his enhanced abilities to push through them. Eventually, he finds Naneo. But she's badly injured. Shokichi carries her back toward the ship. The Terraformars pursue them. The remaining crew members prepare one final defense. They know they may not survive. But they decide that if they're going to die, they'll at least give Shokichi and Naneo a chance to escape. The battle begins. Flames fill the battlefield. Weapons explode. The genetically modified humans fight against an overwhelming army of evolved cockroaches. One by one, the humans fall. But their sacrifices allow Shokichi to reach the spacecraft. He gets Naneo aboard. The engines finally start. The spacecraft lifts away from Mars. For a moment, Shokichi believes they've escaped. But then he looks back at the planet. Thousands of Terraformars remain. They survived. And they're still evolving. The mission may have failed. But humanity has learned something terrifying. Mars is no longer an empty planet waiting to be colonized. It already has inhabitants. And those inhabitants have spent centuries becoming stronger. The humans thought they were going to Mars to conquer it. Instead, they discovered a species that may eventually become powerful enough to come to Earth. But the survivors soon realize that escaping Mars doesn't mean they've won. The mission has left them with more questions than answers. Why did the Terraformars evolve so rapidly? How intelligent have they become? And what will happen if they continue evolving? Back on the spacecraft, the surviving crew members examine the biological samples they managed to collect. The results are disturbing. The Terraformars aren't simply physically stronger than ordinary cockroaches. Their bodies have adapted to the harsh Martian environment in ways scientists never expected. Their muscles are stronger, their reflexes are faster, and their ability to learn from their enemies makes them increasingly dangerous. Shokichi begins to understand that humanity made a terrible mistake. They thought they could change Mars to suit humans. Instead, they accidentally created a world where another species had the opportunity to evolve. And now that species may eventually become a threat to Earth itself. Naneo slowly recovers from her injuries. She and Shokichi talk about what happened on Mars. They remember the people who sacrificed themselves so they could survive. For them, returning home isn't a victory. It's a responsibility. They have to tell Earth what really happened. But when they finally establish communication with Earth, the response isn't what they expected. The people controlling the mission don't seem surprised. They already knew the Terraformars were dangerous. In fact, they may have expected the casualties. The crew realizes that their mission was never designed to bring everyone home. They were sent to collect information, no matter how many people died. Shokichi becomes furious. He refuses to remain silent. He tells Earth exactly what happened. The mission's true purpose, the deaths, the experiments, and the fact that the Terraformars are becoming more intelligent. But the people on Earth are more interested in the biological data than the survivors. They see the creatures as an opportunity. If scientists can understand the Terraformars' evolution, they may be able to create even more powerful biological weapons. Shokichi finally understands the real danger. The Terraformars may be monsters, But humanity is willing to become just as dangerous in the pursuit of power. The survivors return to Earth carrying the evidence. But their story is only the beginning. The Terraformars remain on Mars. They continue evolving, and somewhere beneath the red surface, an entire civilization of creatures is growing stronger. Humanity still dreams of colonizing Mars. But now there is a problem. Mars already belongs to someone else. And the creatures humans accidentally created may not remain on Mars forever. The final message is clear. Humanity went to another planet believing it could control nature. Instead, nature adapted. And now the species that was supposed to help terraform Mars has become the greatest threat humanity has ever created. The battle between humans and terraformars may have ended for now. But the real war may only be beginning. The survivors finally escape Mars, but they know the mission was far from a victory. They lost many of their teammates, and they discovered that the Terraformars are far more intelligent and dangerous than anyone on Earth expected. Worse, the humans were never told the real purpose of the mission. Scientists wanted the creatures' genetic information for further experiments, treating the crew as expendable. Shokichi realizes that humanity made a terrible mistake. They went to Mars believing they could control the planet, but the Terraformars evolved beyond anything humans could predict. The survivors return to Earth carrying evidence of what happened. But the Terraformars remain on Mars. They are still evolving, and if humanity ever returns to colonize the planet, it won't be entering an empty world. It will be entering the territory of a powerful new species. The mission may be over. But the war between humanity and the Terraformars may have only just begun.